Hello everyone and welcome back to the Common Sense Crypto channel. As with you always, this is Rich doing another video today on XRP. So I hope you're all having a wonderful day today, wherever you are in this great world. We're going to talk about XRP, and I got to start with this from JD Nomax. XRP's growth will be institutional, not speculative. This is what real growth looks like. Nasdaq's new analysis sees XRP Ledger becoming the network where banks, stablecoins, and tokenized assets converge. Its edge is compliance, clear rules, built-in security, and predictable settlement. And this is what Nasdaq said right here. During the next 3 years, XRP is going to get bigger. Its network will add more features that financial institutions actually use, building up more on-chain capital in the form of stable coins and other assets, and staking out a clearer role in moving and holding in custody tokenized real-world assets. The foundation of this process is something boring that the chain already excels at: regulatory compliance. While XRP holding it seems very boring. Goes sideways a lot of the times, but it's all worth it once the breakout begins, because all that sideways movement is momentum building up to a parabolic run. But in the background, there's so much growth around this cryptocurrency, it's just not reflected in the price. Yet Ledger is weighing a New York listing after revenues hit triple-digit millions in 2025, driven by record crypto hacks and growing demand for cold storage wallets. I don't know any crypto holder out there that should be holding their crypto on an exchange. It's not your keys, not your crypto. Get your crypto off the exchanges. I urge people to do that all the time. You don't know what goes on at these exchanges. Remember when everybody thought that FTX was totally safe and all the celebs were endorsing it? And then what happened? FTX crashed. I think we are going to see a lot of people lose their crypto as well, because they're using exchanges that don't do KYC or AML. Know your customer. And anti-money laundering. Regulations are going to bottleneck exchanges. But Ledger going public, think that's absolutely incredible. Because again, it will open people's eyes to needing a cold storage wallet. I could tell you day after day, and I know people will still keep their crypto on exchanges. This comes from Mr. Man. Get ready. The Basel III endgame kick in January 1st, 2026. Carnage will follow. Banks will fail. People will struggle. If you think things are bad now, just wait. Even Jamie Dimon is afraid of Basel III. He urged Congress to do away with these requirements, because the banks have to hold a certain amount of capital, and I even asked Rock how Basel III. So XRP, the XRP Ledger developed fast, low-cost value TRAN on demand. Liquidity serve a bridge asset for cross-source from the open market. This directly tackles Basel III pain points. What XRP does as well, and what Ripple is out to do, is they want to unlock all that nostro vostro money. So all that money can come back to the banks. So the banks will no longer have a liquidity problem anymore, because they're not going to be holding money in other places all around the world. But XRP can absolutely fix the bank's problems with Basel III. I wanted to point that out because nobody's talking about this right now, and we are less than 2 months away from the Basel III requirements. Bitcoin and crypto sell-off reminiscent of post-2000.com crash. So what they're talking about is long-term crypto and Bitcoin investors selling off their assets, and before crypto hits a blow-off top, are preventing crypto from hitting a blow-off top. But here's what happens in crypto. Right now it seems like it's over. This cycle is done. But then all of a sudden crypto starts moving back up in price again. And then the FOMO repeats. People have to come back in because of a fear of missing out. But this time around, I don't think they're going to be foaming into Bitcoin, not around $100K. They're not going to be foaming into Ethereum either, because it's too expensive. Most people can't even afford one Ethereum right now. So look at it like that. So what money they have, they're better off buying a decent bag of an altcoin like maybe XRP or XLM or XDC, HBR. These cryptocurrencies that we know can be utilized within ISO 222. But every time that they have to talk about crypto crashing out, they always look to the past, and they always think that the past is going to continue to repeat. Just like the 4-year cycle, people are already talking about 2028 already. You don't even know if 2028 is going to happen. Utility is what's really going to change the 4-year cycle. And what's happening right now, we're on the verge of mass institutional adoption, with clarity coming in the United States. That institutional adoption is going to lead to mass adoption all around the world. So how do we go back to a speculative run like we've seen in the past? I'm just not seeing it. Utility is going to change everything. And here's how the banks position themselves. While they're out there in the mainstream calling Bitcoin and crypto only being used for illicit activity, there's no value in crypto. The government should get rid of crypto. Take a listen to what Jamie Dimon is doing at the same time. What are your thoughts on unstable coin and Bitcoin? That's a loaded question. So this is a great way to deal with an issue or something like that. Whenever we meet as a business unit, so it could be a small business unit like consumer branches or big one like global investment banking, on the table and on the agenda is what are you doing in tech, AI, etc. That is always on the agenda. And I do it differently than other people. I don't say what's in your budget. I always say you doing everything you need to do to win in the future. Period. And I don't care what the budget says. I don't care whether, and you may walk in and say, you know what, I was just over somewhere. I really need to do X. My view is you better be doing X. So to me, the budget is a roadmap. It is not your boss. And so I make people, we're going to do that. Stablecoin was one where I don't know how it's going to play out. But that also answers my questions. What do we do about it? We're involved. We're building a stable coin. We may build it with other banks. We have a JP Morgan deposit coin already, which I can pay you interest on. We use the blockchain. Any of these tools that you want to use for smart contracts, we are simply going to do. I don't know how it's going to sort out, but I'd rather be playing, which keeps us smart, than acting like I know the answer to it. And we do that with all technology. But sometimes, regardless of what I think about it, I want you to be dabbling in it. Because your being smart is much more important than saying Jamie does or doesn't like it, and something like that. And we do that with almost all frontier type of technologies. And that's why. And it's not just JP Morgan, it's also all these other banks. And that's why they come out there, and they tell you crypto is bad. It's only used for illicit activity. But in the background they're embracing it because the banks, they also have to keep up with technology, because technology never slows down. It only advances into the bank wants to be future appear to embrace the newest thing. Why? JP Morgan is getting, Goldman Sachs is doing the dolby. It'll be every single bay hype to real use stable kiss. And of course stable coin payments are going to continue to surge. This is why Ripple created RLUSD. This is why Jamie Dimon created JP Morgan coin. But you know what they all need? A bridge currency. Because other people are not going to accept JP Morgan coin. So you start out with JP Morgan coin. You go into XRP, and you come out as Goldman Sachs coin, or any other coin. But stable coins are also it's like leading up to crypto. They gotta get everybody used to digital money. That's what stable coins are. They're paid to $1. So all of a sudden the bank gets used to using stable coins, and that's like the introduction to crypto. Later they'll start utilizing coins like XRP and XLM and XDC and so on. So stable coins are like a gateway to crypto. That's the way I look at it. Crypto craze sweeps hedge funds as 55% add digital assets to portfolios. And this is going to continue to rise as well. Hedge funds. You're going to see everybody involved with crypto. Look at what's going on with 401ks. All of a sudden all these 401ks now want to involve crypto as well. Because now they're starting to realize this is the future. We got to get in early on this. We got to beat the competition to this, because once the competition is in, all of a sudden you're playing catch up to them. Same thing with banks. When the banks start utilizing crypto on a daily basis, it's going to set off a network effect. You only need 2 banks in the world to do it. One bank in the US, one bank maybe in China, or some other country. And once they start utilizing crypto, other banks will pay attention. They'll start using it, and then this bank has to start using it. And that's how you get mass adoption. Trump pledges to sign Clarity Act, fast-tracking US crypto rules as China accelerates. I never see China really talk about crypto at all.